How it echoes, so it responds, says Ala, while her husband cannot say anything because this is her property and he is only registered here. She understands that if she refuses to register her in-laws now, they will start complaining about their meager pension and will ask her husband for financial help. Yes, that's right, their pensions are not like Moscow ones, Ala explains. But this trick won't work. She and her husband have already agreed to take a mortgage for a one-bedroom apartment because she wants to provide her child with housing. They have already saved some money and will continue to save until they have a decent amount for the down payment. Ala shares her thoughts with a friend. I wonder if my mother-in-law remembers my refusal, or is she talking about me, calling me heartless? I've practically not communicated with my father-in-law, and instead of directly asking me for registration, they are going through their son. My husband understands me and knows the reasons for my refusal because he remembers all the events that unfolded in the past. Ala and her husband have been married for 12 years. She is from Siberia and moved to Moscow to study. After graduating, she got a good job and soon met her ex-husband, Pavel. His parents were against their marriage, but Pavel did not listen to their opinions. Ala believes her mother-in-law dreamed of Pavel marrying her to secure their place in Moscow. At first, they rented an apartment and saved for their own home. However, the mother-in-law constantly expressed her dissatisfaction. 8 months after their wedding, Ala was offered a well-paying job, but she needed registration in Moscow. They decided to approach Pavel's parents for temporary registration, but the mother-in-law caused a scandal. I thought she would faint. She didn't even try to hide it, Ala recalls. The mother-in-law claimed that if they registered Ala, they would then have to register their child, and she would lose the apartment. This apartment was hard-earned, and no one will be registered here as long as I am alive, she replied. After some time, Pavel reconciled with his parents. Well, Ala did not want to see her in-laws. Soon she inherited a 2-bedroom apartment from a distant relative. For the last months of his life, this elderly man had been very ill, and Ala and her husband took care of him. Now we have our own home, Ala rejoices. 5 years ago, they had a son, and all the savings they had accumulated for renovations and a car were spent. Now we will rent out the apartment and use part of the money to pay off the mortgage, she says. Pavel also does not have his own home, and his parents, after retiring, decided to move to the sea. Initially, they thought about a house, but later decided that an apartment would be more convenient. They found a 2-bedroom apartment in Sochi and signed a preliminary contract. However, when they considered renting out part of their apartment, they realized they would have to live on just one pension. By moving to Sochi, they would lose their city allowances as they would be registered in a different region, belongs to her, and that they need not a temporary but a permanent registration. I don't know what my husband was thinking when he asked me to register his parents. Maybe he felt uncomfortable refusing them right away, she reflects. Ala refused not out of fear of losing the apartment, but simply because she believes, how it echoes, so it responds. Her husband conveyed her refusal to his parents, and they were very upset because they realized that the move would cost them a fortune.